Hello, everyone. Hi, Cheryl Arkle.
Amal Awad.
Amal's got a very soft voice. You're going to have to speak up for
Amal
us.
Awad.
Amal Awad.
Sorry.
And hey, listen, it's What Are You Reading? It's been a long time since I've been in the chair. I don't know. Where have I been, Jane? I don't know. I just haven't been here. So other people have been running it. But I'm here today with Amal. Super happy to be here. It's Amal's first time on What Are You Reading? Amal and I just recorded a podcast. Now, you will know Amal because we've often talked about her books, and this is her latest book, Bitter and Sweet. Can you tell us what that's about?
It's about a 40-something-year-old woman who is basically experiencing the complete destruction of her life, but she is a chef. And so there's a lot of healing and growth through her journey as a chef in the kitchen, sort of connecting to the flavors of her homeland, Palestine, but also finding a way to fuse it with her upbringing in Australia. And so it's a really lyrical, poetic journey in a way, but it's really about love and friendship as well, and connection, and what brings us together and what pulls us apart.
So how lovely. All right. Now, welcome everybody. I've got Amal here today, Amal Awad. Am I pronouncing that correctly? It's fine. I should be able to do it because I'm from Lebanon, Amal's from Palestine. We are neighbours, right? Welcome everybody to What Are You Reading? So what you'll see, what will happen here is we'll get a whole lot of questions. It's been a while since I've been here. Oh, have we got a little photo of John Brown? We might talk about John Brown to put up. Yeah. So I need to tell everybody. I don't know if we've mentioned on Facebook. So we're going to tell you this, Amal. I had a little white dog called John Brown, and he was very much part of the Better Reading community. John Brown was named after a picture book called John Brown Rose and the Midnight Cat by Jenny Wagner.
Nice.
But John Brown died 10 days ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. That's probably one of the reasons why I haven't been here, because I haven't been well. But I did want to tell you all that John Brown, he died about 7 days ago, last Monday. Anyway, so I don't have a dog anymore. And that's hard. Yeah, it's really hard. And I know all you pet lovers out there will understand. So we've got a whole stack of books to talk about here, but the first thing I want to talk about as well, or the other thing I want to talk about, is we're having a Christmas party. Now, Amal, during COVID, we introduced the concept of an online Christmas party because everybody was stuck at home and we couldn't have a live Christmas party. So Jane and I just sat here, we drank champagne and we shared our experience with the audience, with the Facebook Live audience, and it's become a thing and people love it. So it's 13th of December at 8 p.m. on Facebook. That's the Christmas party, the Better Reading Christmas party, 13th of December. We'll tell you more about it as time goes by, but put that in your diary. We've got lots and lots of prizes to give away. Get your drink ready, your drink of choice, whether you want to drink lemonade or whether you want to drink champagne or whatever you want to drink, and be ready for the Better Reading Christmas party. We're giving away lots of prize packs. We've got merch and mugs and this and that. And anyway, we're giving all of that away. So that's what we're doing for the Christmas party, right? Now, Carolyn, there's John Brown. That's my little dog, named after John Brown Rose and the Midnight Cat. Do you know he was 17 and a half when he died?
There's another dog. There's another dog waiting for you now.
That's right. That's a very beginnings for John Brown. He was around for a long time. Carolyn says hi. In the last week, she read Past Lying by Val McDermott, which she thoroughly enjoyed. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Sharon says hello and glad I'm back, and I'm really glad to be back. Christine says hello to both of us. Jill says hello, everybody. Cindy says hi, ladies. I'm currently reading Weekends with Sunshine Gardening by Sunshine Gardening Society by Sophie Green, and listening to The Rivergum Cottage by Leonie Kelsall. Jane said just finished reading Tuscan Rose by Belinda Alexander. Loved it. Julie says, hi, Cheryl and Amal. I'm reading several books at once. The Rachel Incident by Carolyn O'Donoghue, as well as The Only Suspect on Audible. And she's listening to Nanette by Hannah Gatsby on Audible, I think. Sally says, sorry for your loss. Christine says, sorry for your loss. I miss him so much. It's terrible. But what I'm going to talk about, audio. Do you do audio, Amal?
A little bit.
Yeah, I do too.
Especially I listened to a bunch of Trump books,
Yeah.
and they were just too dense for me to sit down and read like really these thick books. You know, Bob Woodward did a couple of really good Trump books. I listened to them on audio; they were good.
Yeah. Gosh, let's hope he doesn't come back. But anyway, wouldn't that just
Would it be worse?
Oh, no,
Really,
what
like, at
could
this
be
point.
worse? Now, as I said earlier, we had Amal in for a podcast, and that's why she's joining us for What Are You Reading? And Amal's parents are both from Palestine, and Amal grew up here in Sydney. What else have you got there on your reading list?
Well, I have Tell Her She's Dreaming by
Yes.
Simone Emilia Jordan, and I just wanted to get the middle name right. That's why I looked at it.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I did an event with Simone on the weekend with Ruby Hamad as well at the Arts Cultural Exchange in Parramatta, and she's amazing. She has a great story about basically working as a hip hop journalist in the US and how she had to go there to build a career because she couldn't do it here. And I'm looking forward to digging in. I actually haven't started it yet, but this is on my list.
So it's a memoir.
It's
her
a
story.
memoir, and she won the Rochelle Prize.
Oh, the Matt Rochelle Prize.
Yeah.
Do you know I knew Matt
Oh.
before he died?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I also I'm still reading Solari Gentle's book.
Oh, I love Solari.
I love Solari, and I read everything. Like, as in, she's just an amazing, underrated writer.
She really is. Do you want me to hold it?
Thank you.
You're
I don't
struggling
know.
there
I'm
with
struggling.
the camera.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But that's okay.
They're not going to ask me back again to do a live. This is terrible.
This is it. Hey, I know a lot of you out there love Solari as well. She's just, do you know, she's been in a couple of times, and I've recorded a podcast. Maybe we should get her back in actually for a top up.
She is the best.
Yeah,
she's such a good writer.
But also a little bit of naughty comic humor.
So much. There's so much to her books.
Yes.
Mystery, crime, romance, humor.
And also, doesn't she own a truffle farm or something crazy like that? She's crazy.
She lives in like, I think, Batlow or something. So she's always like baking pies. And, yeah, beautiful stuff.
I just love her so much. Anyway, there you go.
And last thing is this one. I got it right this time, Cheryl. There you go.
Let me help you.
This is actually something I bought before I started to see him all over social media because of what's happening. He's amazing. He actually talks a lot about trauma and how it can sort of manifest in your body, and it's one of those big books that you read slowly. So I'm just reading bits and pieces.
Dip out.
Yeah, dip in and dip out. But I really like what he has to say, and it's even more relevant now because he actually does talk about Palestine in the book as well, which is interesting. So,
there you go.
So
isn't it amazing? Do you know what I always think, and you might agree with this, is sometimes I think the right book comes to you at the moment 100%. That it comes to you.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but my mother was in a nursing home and she died in a nursing home, and there were so many books around me that I hadn't read, and when we were called in for that final week, I remember picking up Bedtime Story by Chloe Hooper and Helen Garner, her latest diaries, and taking them. And they ended up being my companions for that week that I was there.
That's interesting.
Isn't that?
Susie Miller, Susie Miller, the playwright, I did a writer's room with her years ago, and I gave her a copy of This Is How You Get Better, which was self-published at the time. And she said she read that by the bedside of her father.
Oh, there
in
you
hospital,
go.
and it meant a lot to me because she said it kept me company.
Yeah.
And I just think there's something so powerful and beautiful about books sweeping in at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, exactly right. Like a big hug.
Yeah. And I think sometimes they're there for the moment that you need them.
Absolutely.
You know. Okay, Tony Birch. This is our book of the week. He's an award-winning writer, and this is a powerful novel about a working class family in the 60s. Isn't that a beautiful little cover?
So nice.
And it's called Women and Children. And Tony Birch is coming in a couple of weeks, and we're going to record a podcast with him. Now, I've got so much going on here. Let me just read a few more. I always get into trouble with the reading. Actually, I just get into trouble all the time.
I won't be able to read anything without my glasses. So
okay, all right. Well, you just leave that to me. And also, you don't want to get into trouble. No.
Well, don't I? Maybe I do, Cheryl. No, I'm kidding. I really don't.
Annette says, "Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Amal. I have read a while. She's been reading Things We See in the Light and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And this week I have read Albert Camus, A Life by Oliver Todd. Sharon says, sorry for your loss. That's my John Brown. Jill says, looking forward to the Christmas party. Don't forget the Christmas party, 13th of December. Cindy says, so sorry for your loss, Cheryl. Run free, John Brown. Thank you, Cindy. Yvonne says, hi. Jeanette says, currently reading The Covenant of Water by Abraham I don't know how to pronounce that. Verwis, The White Cliffs Book Club, absolutely loving it. Christine, I'm currently reading The Joy Thief by Penny Moody. I feel so much more hopeful. Well, that's fantastic and good to feel hopeful. Fiona, last week I read Silver Linings by Katrina Nanstad, and Mrs. Winterbottom Takes a Gap Year by Joanna Nell, who is coming in shortly, I think. Oh, Joanna Nell, are we allowed to say who's coming to the Christmas party? Yeah, well, Joanna Nell is coming to the Christmas party.
Told everybody, so
I told
at this point, you're going to have to.
I know. I'm reading on this. You can see why I get into trouble. Jill says he's reading Bright Hillside in Paradise by Annette Higgs and loving it. Bobby just finished Lola in the Mirror by Trent Dalton. It's raw, but I loved it. I love Trent Dalton. Do you like Trent?
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't actually read his books.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well, we
sorry.
love him. Now, this big mouth came in the other day, Matt Preston. I think I came up to his waist. He was so tall and he was so big and he was such an Amazon. And we had the best conversation. We talked about his life and growing up. And we recorded a podcast. Is the podcast out? Yeah. And the podcast is out. But do you know the first thing he asked me, Amal, which I wasn't ready for, but he asked me what my favourite dish was. Anyway, it was tabbouleh.
No, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did he have a take on that? Does he have a take on tabbouleh?
No, he didn't. But he was surprised that it was a salad. But it's not just a salad, is
It's
it?
not just a salad.
No, it's not just a salad.
It's our childhood.
Yeah, it's everything. And I make the best tabbouleh. Well, my mother used to make the best, but I'm probably second best. And Brian Brown came in and I made him a cinnamon tea cake. I haven't cooked for you today.
No,
but
you haven't. I was about to say this is going to get awkward.
Yeah, it's going to get awkward. But I usually do. Well, I don't always, but sometimes if I have time. I had to go to the dentist this morning.
I feel ripped off now.
You
frankly. Like, you didn't have to bring that up.
That's
Thank you.
right.
There's this wound and there's the
Yeah,
salt,
but the thing is, you're not Brian Brown. Just remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
No
Anyway,
one can be Brian Brown. but Brian
Nobody
Brown.
can be. Do you know he was brought up in Bankstown?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Everybody loves him because
Yes.
he's a Bankstown boy.
He's a Bankstown boy. I loved him. Great podcast, great book, Brian Brown. Wendy Harmer, this is a memoir. So hasn't she worked hard all her life? She's and this is her new book, and we can't wait to read it. We haven't recorded a podcast with her, and I don't know why, but we'll find out why today. But there's Wendy. I mean, many years ago, I was working at a publisher, and she pitched a book to us, and I think they were Pink Fairy book. I can't remember what they were called, but anyway, she was doing those back then, and that's her new book out. Oh, Tanya Blanchard, who we love, and our audience.
cover.
I
Love that
know,
cover.
isn't that
Wow.
beautiful?
That's
It's so
beautiful.
beautiful. It's just so. Tanya used to be a physio, and then she decided she wanted to start writing. She went to a writing class and had these ideas, and the woman at the writing class gave her all these tips, and here she is. I think it's book number 3 or book number 4, isn't it? Anyway, this is Tanya's. It's historical fiction. It's set in England, and it is she is hosting What Are You Reading? Is she? Or she has hosted What Are You Reading? Anyway, last week she did. She was here, sitting right here in the chair, hosting What Are You Reading?
Historical fiction seems to be doing really well now, doesn't it?
It's a
like-
really and it's also the historical fiction that focus on women's lives are doing the best.
Mhm.
And Tanya has always done that. So anyway, so that's out now. Let me go through a couple of other things. Talk to me about some of your other books.
Oh.
We've got them here.
Here's
Well,
one
why
I-
don't you
here's
start
one I prepared
promoting?
earlier.
There you go.
Is
This
it in
is
the right place?
yes.
There we go. Sorry, it's really, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Fridays with my folks. Actually, I wrote this quite a few years ago before there was a whole bunch of aging books. Literally, the aging section at Dymocks was how to age beautifully, how to age gracefully, what to do to avoid wrinkles, that kind of thing. And now we're talking about the more relevant things, which is how to live well when you're getting older and sort of not get trapped in a hospital system. And Fridays with my folks, I wrote after my father got diagnosed with kidney failure, and everyone's lives changed in our family. And so I interviewed doctors, geriatricians, pharmacists, other carers, people who have dealt with parents who are aging, essentially. I also traced my father's journey and my mother's journey to Australia from Palestine in this book, which I'm very proud of. I love the fact that I have a book that was published by a mainstream publisher, and I've never sort of had any issues talking about Our Heritage, which is really beautiful. So that one's still
So
available.
both your parents are from Palestine?
They're both from Palestine, yes.
And did they immigrate together or did they?
No, my dad came to Australia on his own quite like over 50 years ago.
Right.
He went via Germany, actually. He
Right.
went from his town in Palestine to Germany, then to Sydney. He went back to the Middle East. Specifically, he went to Kuwait, where he met my mum. And they got married, and my mum came to Australia after that. So it would have been, she's a few years behind dad in that way. So,
Yes. I love that. That's a really
Yeah.
nice story. Okay. I love a good romance. I really do.
like this.
Yeah. Okay. What else have you got?
This. I'm glad you asked, Cheryl.
Yeah.
The things we see in the light. It is romantic. It is. I promise. It's not just, but it does have chocolate in it. And I think the biggest romance is with food and chocolate in my books, in the last two anyway, for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. There seems
I'm
to
a
be
terrible
like that.
cook. I can't.
Oh, I was just about to ask you. Do you
terrible.
make tabbouleh? No, you
I
don't.
make tabbouleh. I can make. Oh God. Next question.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you love eating, just not cooking?
I love Arabic food.
Yeah.
I love food. Yes, I love Italian. I actually don't suck at cooking if I plan myself, but because
Right.
I live in apartments, I'm always renting. I
Yeah.
never feel like I have the right kitchen, and I've noticed that when I've had a nicer kitchen, I cook more. So I think there's something to the environment for me.
Whereas I'm just the opposite. I can cook in a shed. Just give me a sink and a stovetop.
I can
and
write
go.
in a shed. I can write
There
anywhere,
you go.
but I can't cook anywhere.
I think that's a marriage made in heaven.
I
Then
know.
you do the writing, I do the cooking.
It's a deal.
It's a
That's-
deal.
that
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. What else?
Clearly not happening today.
Oh,
but anyway.
hang on. We've got a segue. We love segues here. Somebody has just said, Joanne, have A Woman of Courage by Tanya Blanchard on my to-be-read pile. Just finished The Sugar Palace by Fiona McIntosh. Actually, Fiona McIntosh is the writing class that Tanya went to. That is like the perfect message, Joan. Thank you so much. Jane, who's a regular, She and Her Cat is what she's reading. Gorgeous short stories. Okay, what else have we got? Maggie says, I'm reading Death Under a Light Sky by a Norwegian author. And what else? Eileen says, I've nearly finished Joanne Nell's latest book. Love her books. Well,
She's
Joanne's
great.
coming to our Christmas party. Do you know Joanne Nell?
I do know Joanne.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, I
Okay.
did Byron Bay Writers Festival with her a few years ago.
Right.
And we were talking about chick lit and the way people classify romance as chick lit and all this sort of stuff. And
Right. Michelle just said she's just finished Sally Hepworth's book, Darling Girl, which is a great read. Okay, we've got many books here. Let me keep going. Oh, gosh, I'm going to go with The Seven with Chris Hammer. That's out now. I don't know if you've read any Chris Hammer. He is just crime fiction. He was an ex-journalist, actually.
Yeah.
And he was in here. We've recorded a podcast with him, which is out now. This is his new book. He has had a new book out. I think this is book number 4, isn't it? And every book people say was better than the last book.
Yeah.
He's had that many great books. Really
I
great
think
guy.
one of his books has been turned into a series.
Yes.
For Stan, I think.
Yeah, it's on right now as well. Actually, speaking of TV series, I started watching the other day, and you guys, I think, have already seen it, Bonnie Garmus, Lessons in Chemistry. It's on Apple. Has anybody seen that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you know what happened to me? I only started watching it the other day because I've been really sad because my dog died. And what do you know? There's a character, episode 3, and the whole episode is the perspective from the dog.
Oh.
And I just thought, okay, that's it. I'm going out to buy a dog tomorrow.
I think there's a dog I legitimately think there's a dog waiting for you. I think there's a.
It was so cute. Hey, who's watched Lessons in Chemistry? And don't we love the dog? I love the dog. Lisa says, hi, Cheryl and Amal. This week I am reading Babel by R.F. Kuang. Lisa, reading The Pearl Sisters by Lucinda Riley. How often do you read? Or do you get time to read?
Lately, I haven't had
No.
time.
Do you know some of our people out there, some of our lovely audience, they can read, some of them can read up to 80 to 100 books a year.
You know Tess Woods.
Yes, I do know Tess Woods.
Tess is like, Mel, I read every night.
Yeah, wow.
I envy that.
Yeah.
I can't.
yeah.
I'm actually more a puzzler at night, so I
Yes.
do puzzles, jigsaw puzzles.
Oh, do you?
Well, less and less lately because I've just been like
Writing.
things have been a bit crazy.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, I haven't been writing.
You haven't been writing either.
No,
So you've not been doing very much.
Oh no, I'm actually just a lady of leisure. No,
Oh,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
kidding. No, I have been doing other things. I've been
Right.
writing other things, but not
Right.
novels. But I do feel like jigsaws are my decompression time. So
Yeah,
I would
wow.
actually sit there and I will listen to something. I'll
Right.
actually have a TV show on, but I'm listening to it. I don't
Right.
actually watch it.
Right. Yeah,
And so
yeah.
my husband will ask me, like, how can you watch it and you're not watching it? And I said,
Yeah.
I know when to look up.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
tell when it's good writing because I will know when to look up.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I've been doing? I get addicted to crime noir on SBS and with subtitles, but the only problem is I can't multitask
No, you
because
can't.
I'm
No.
reading the subtitles.
That's why I
right?
haven't watched what's her name? Squid Game? Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yeah,
I
don't
haven't
know.
watched it because I can't do that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do jigsaw puzzles. So as
Yeah.
you can see, the struggle is real.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah,
it's,
the struggle is real. Okay, let's see what people have got to say. Jane just finished Matthew Riley's Mr. Einstein's Secretary. Loved it. Coral, she's just finished reading the 7. Oh, Chris Hammer. We love a segue. We love a segue. Here we go. Christine's just finished that. Lisa is reading Lessons in Chemistry. Eileen, I read every night. Very fortunate. Lisa, love a jigsaw. Always have one on the go.
Yay,
There you
yes.
go. Jane said Chris Hammer's terrific. I heard him in conversation at the Sydney Mechanics School of Art.
I actually
there
did
you
an event
go.
with him once, I think. At
Yeah,
Mudgee.
yeah,
This
he's
is
really great guy.
that's how I know authors. I did events with them.
Right, okay.
So I'm like,
That's how you know. Now we've got Penelope Janu, who's had a terrible accident. She's fallen on her face and has got a great big bruise. But you know, that hasn't stopped her. She's still out promoting the book. This is her new book. It's called Sunshine Through Rain. I was at a panel with Penelope quite a few months ago in Tamworth. And we had great fun. There's so many wonderful authors out there writing this kind of genre,
nice.
and that's her. I think, I've been through my pile, except for this one, another historical fiction by Darry Fraser, and we love Darry. This is a proof copy, people, and it's a romantic historical fiction. It's set in 1898 along the banks of the Murray River.
I'm detecting a theme.
Yeah, you are. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to tell you, and I know a lot of people out there, if you subscribe to our email, to our EDM or newsletter that comes out every Wednesday, you can actually put your name in to be a reviewer, and we call it preview. So if you want, this is a proof book. It's called an ARC, or what do you call it?
They're called advanced reader copies, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
advanced reading copies. Right. So if you want to be an advanced reader for us, what you do is you subscribe to the newsletter, and we have 2 or 3 going a week. You put your name down. We usually have 80 to 100 books to give away, and it's done by some kind of computer program. And you register, and we choose 50 to 80 people, and they get a copy of the book, and they write a review. And it's such great fun, and you get it 3 or 4 months before the book is actually out.
That's with my last 2 books. I've had that.
Oh, you've had that with us?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. How fantastic. Okay, that's it from us. Very big thank you to Amal, who's coming today. Look out for the podcast, and look out. Where's the book? Where's your book? What did we do with your book? We must have just had it. We've got the book. It's
It's
right
at the bottom there.
It's at the bottom there. We're so organised today. Bitter and Sweet by Amal Harwood. Okay, that's it from us. Don't forget the Christmas party, the 13th of December. We will see you then. Thank you, my lovely, and we'll have you back next year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully you've done something and you've written a book.
Cheryl,
by
you're not
then.
going to be able to get rid of me now. So
Okay. All right. Thank you to everybody at home. Thanks for your time. Bye.